Rock was born in one of those narrow streets of the city, where dreams don't rise high and the sky is never fully seen. His father was a simple laborer, and his mother had passed away a long time ago. Since childhood, Rock had a big heart. He wanted success, fame, respect, wealth, status. But the problem was, while chasing his dreams, he often got lost. And more than anything, he talked too much. Rock tried many businesses, YouTube channels, freelancing, everything. He thought he was the smartest brain in the world. But every time, the result was the same failure. And every time he failed, he blamed someone. Sometimes fate, sometimes circumstances, sometimes friends, and sometimes the government. One evening, as he was closing his small shop and walking down the road, tired and hopeless, he saw an old woman sitting by the roadside, her face full of wrinkles, but her eyes were shining. In front of her was a clay bowl, and she was writing something with her finger on the dirt. Rock, without thinking, said, "Old lady, what are you doing? Is there even any benefit in writing this?" She raised her head, looked at Rock deeply, and said, "Son, you talk of benefit, but you don't even understand loss." Rock looked at her, surprised. She asked, "Do you want to be successful?" Rock replied immediately, "Yes, I'm doing everything to be successful, but my luck is just bad." The old woman smiled and said, "If you want to one thing, just a small task." Rock was curious. What kind of task? She opened her bag, took out a glass full of water, then added a spoon full of dirt into the glass. The water turned muddy. Then she said, "Son, clean this glass, but remember, one condition. You won't say a word. Don't speak. Just clean it in silence." Rock laughed. "This is the task. I can do this right now." And he picked up the glass. First he tried shaking the glass hard to make the dirt settle. The water became worse. Then he tried removing the dirt with a finger, but each time it only got messier. He looked at the old woman, tried to guess from her face, looked around, felt like asking something, but remembered the conditioned silence. Finally, the third time, he put the glass down, took a step back, and said nothing. He just sat, quiet. After some time, the water in the glass started clearing by itself. The dirt settled down. The top became clear. Rock stared in disbelief. The old woman smiled and said, "Now you can be successful." Rock was shocked. "What do you mean?" She said, "Every time you shake your life, try to force answers, make noise, get angry, demand, argue, but you don't understand. Some answers are only revealed by time, only if you stay silent." Rock's eyes were wet, but he couldn't speak. For the first time, his heart was still. The old woman picked up her bowl and said, "Your heart is just like this water. As long as you keep shaking it, nothing becomes clear. But once you go silent, everything reveals itself." Rock bowed his head in silence. The old woman walked away, but before leaving, she said one final thing: "Be silent and get everything." After that day, Rock never shouted at his failures again. He started listening. He let the world speak, and he began to understand. Time gave him everything he once chased, screamed for, and cried over. Now he doesn't stir the water inside him anymore. He just lets it stay clear. And that old woman, she was never seen again, but she stayed forever in Rock's life in the form of silence. Silence is the door that opens only from within. When you stop speaking, truth begins to speak. Noise brings confusion, but clarity grows in stillness. Success comes to those who know how to listen, because when the wind stops, only then the water shows its face. Be silent and get everything